Welcome to the Passive House podcast, brought to you by Passive House Accelerator, a catalyst for zero carbon building. Welcome back to the Passive House podcast, and we have another special component spotlight episode. How are you, Zach?
I'm doing great. How are you, Matthew?
Pretty good. Enjoying some settled weather here in Auckland, in New Zealand, in some nice summertime. But I have just been away from Auckland Auckland's pretty humid, so been down in the Taupo region, which has been very nice. Some nice houses down there, and it's a bit of lake life instead of beach life. Which is very, very pleasant.
Both those lives sound good to
me. they are pretty good. Yeah. Although, it's definitely nice to get out and experience some of the beautiful countryside down there. And but back into it now, and back into the swing of things. And I very much enjoyed listening to your chat with Adam White.
He is like us in Seattle. He's based in the UK, experiencing lots of gray and wet weather, and which has a lot of relevance actually to the conversation, because Adam White is the CEO and founder of Intelligent Membranes. Intelligent Membranes is our newest champion sponsor at the Accelerator, and Intelligent Membranes makes Passive Purple, which is a suite of liquid applied membranes that are key to high performance building and to moisture management, vapor management. So we dive into a conversation about those products, what got him to Intelligent Membranes. He's got quite a story. He is a creative font and lots of different ventures that he has launched. So it's really fun to learn more about all of those and to just get to learn more about Passive Purple. So without further ado, let's dive in.
Yeah, let's jump into it.
I have Adam White, CEO and founder of Intelligent Membranes, here with me today. Intelligent Membranes is also our newest champion sponsor, so I'm delighted to have a chance to sit down with you, Adam, and also a big thank you for your support of Passive House Accelerator.
No, it's good to be part of the team finally, after years of being a viewer and an admirer of the company. It's good to be finally on board.
Yeah, we're really excited to be partnering with you. So let's dive into a little bit about you and your journey to Intelligent Membranes. Like, what does that story look like?
A long one, a long-winded story, really. Intelligent Membranes. So, I mean, it starts all back from when I used to be a carpenter by trade. I've done that for 25 years. This summer, actually, doing carpentry, and that's the basis of where the Intelligent Membranes did come in. About 14 years ago, I had a bad accident on site. Not a lot of people know, so I nearly died. I fell 3.5 meters through a scaffold board, stepping off of a roof, crushed my ribs. Took 26 people to rescue me. Morphine, a lot of bed rest later. I was off the tools. That's when I was just doing carpentry. Yeah. I had a couple of guys working for me. And then I had to get into, unfortunately, the office side, but wasn't fortunate for me because within 6 months, I had 15 guys working for me doing timber frame. Within a year, I had 55 guys working for me, installing timber frame all around the UK. So it would be timber frame, SIPS panels, and anything like that. And then as our team got bigger, the manufacturers couldn't keep up with me, or keep up with my team, shall I say, not me, because I was in the office. So we started manufacturing the panels, the roof cassettes, the walls, in a rundown little chicken shed that I had rented just down the road from where I am now. So my team were doing all the manufacture and they were doing the erection side of it. And then I actually called a day on doing the on-site stuff for other companies and decided to open up White House and do the timber frame ourselves, which then led me to the whole new world, really, of eco-friendly and airtightness and all the do's and don'ts that come with that. And some of my dark days of putting paper membranes on walls and then seeing it absolutely destroyed by other trades, and just a lack of knowledge, really. Not really a product knowledge, but a knowledge of airtightness. And I just knew there had to be a better way. We teamed up with a chemist, and Intelligent Membranes was born with the passive purple, and that's where it runs from there.
The rest is history.
The rest is history, and now I think we've got 20 odd products in our range of different products, from airtightness to waterproofing. So that's a quick rundown of how it all started. There's many ups and there's been many downs along the way, and I've been touting this now. Well, Passive House, well, you know, Passive House and airtightness the last 10 years has been a hard graft for all of us. Even the Passive House Accelerator, I've seen what you guys have achieved in a short period of a couple of years. It's just amazing how fast the market is moving and how fast it's all been adapted.
Yeah. Well, it does feel like after this decade of work, and for some longer than that things are starting to really pick up, which is exciting to see. So, and you are based in the UK.
Yep. We're based in Cambridge here in the UK. We're quite fortunate here that we have a training facility here for Passive House as well. So we show people how to build timber frame, how you do brickwork, blockwork, timber frame, out of Passive House, self-build things. We have, which we know is one of the only Passive House pubs in the world. We're hoping to get our full license soon as well, so then we can officially go in the Guinness Book of Records as well for the world's most airtight pub in the world.
Awesome.
0.07 on the airtight score. And it's only a little building. It's only 250 square meters. Really hard.
Yeah, right. It gets harder and harder as you get smaller.
Cool.
Yeah.
It gets harder and harder because all the air comes out of the actual fan and the door itself. So, but no, as soon as our license come through, the Guinness Book of Records will give us that accolade, which will be a good one to have.
Oh, so you've been in contact with Guinness, the Guinness Book?
We've already been in contact. Yes, if we get the alcohol license properly, and then we're officially the pub. That'll be it. We can officially be the world's most airtight.
Right,
pub.
right.
And it's good because this is where I like to say it's where we are, like training facility as well, and people can come down here, and it's more of a relaxed atmosphere here as well. This is what we want. We're not trying to ram eco-friendly down everyone's throat. We're trying to do it as a softly approach, and with that works a lot better.
With a pint,
they're a bit more loose. We're still non-alcoholic. We do have some Heineken non-alcoholic beer, which is actually quite nice. But yeah, strangely, everyone comes on a Friday afternoon. I don't know why.
Yeah, what's that? So, and I know though that you're also spend a good deal of time in North America. We just saw each other in Chicago at the FIAS conference, and I know you're going to be in Las Vegas for the IBS conference. For listeners, we just also spoke with Edie Dillman, who will be there from Be Public, and a lot of great people from our community will be there. So could you say a little bit about Intelligent Membranes' presence in North America and the North American market, and kind of the accessibility for practitioners here and elsewhere in the world too, for folks who are listening from, say, Australia and New Zealand? Are people able to get it there yet? What's the story of the reach of your products?
Yes, so Australia, yes. I've actually been over there for the last couple of years. It's all about certification and specification and making sure that we have all our detailing right before we go into any market. I've spent now the last 2-3 years with the North America, or the whole of America, going into different areas, making sure the specification and standards are up to scratch. So the Americans, they're a funny lot. Although I love working with them, they have the ASTM standards that are a little bit different to the European EN standards.
Of course.
And different scores get taken. They're the same test effectively, but there's slight differences. So everything we've had to do in Europe is now doubled up for the American market, and then different areas want to add little bits and pieces, which is good because every zone is going to be different around America anyway. So we've got a distribution company called Passive Health Supplies that have just joined us, and they're going to be doing everything out of LA for us.
Nice.
So up and down the coast. They're really good. So we've been training all of their lot, and we've had people flying in from Texas and Seattle. You name it, we've got installers there now, I think. And when we're over in Vegas in a couple of weeks, that's a good meeting point for all of us to meet up and just have a reconnect and get ready for the year ahead. Chicago, we've got Bob Kelly.
We're great. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the main man himself. So we've trained all of his employees, and they're now trained installers of the product. So he'll be distributing out of Chicago for us. And then we've got Icon Windows in New York.
Excellent.
They'll be doing distribution and install over in New York as well, because that's a big market for us. Canada, we're already on a lot specified on a lot of projects over there, and a lot of tower projects and trials for new projects over there. The latest one, I think, is 100 towers it's going to be.
Wow.
If we're successful on one of
That's
our
exciting.
So that's big news. We're working with the likes of Duffy Architects in Canada as well on different bits and pieces and things. I know they're big fans of the products. So all American side, we've got the UK, Italy, France is a big market for us as well. Israel, we've got products in Israel.
Yeah.
There's not many there's not many countries I don't go to. We're setting up distribution in, but we just really picky with our teams. That's the thing. We have to be picky because it's all these products need the technical backup to go with it.
Yeah.
So that's why we tend to go for the smaller companies or smaller groups of people that are going to pay attention to our products and give the clients what they need.
Right. Well, I mean, your product is so vital to the durability and to avoid building failure with dealing with moisture. And so you don't want to mess around for sure.
Yeah. And it's making sure that people understand the difference between a vapor control and a breathable membrane, like a facade membrane vape. One's vapor open, one's vapor closed. Just all of them differences.
Yeah. And you're on the Source 2050 marketplace as well, right?
Yep, Source 2050. Big fans. We've managed to join them up as well, so that's going to be big news for us in New York as well. And specification, from the previous conversation we just had, specification and making sure that everything, the product details, are going to be used correctly before you get to the job, and it's not just something that's just grabbed off the shelf. That is what we're big fans of, and that's why we joined Source 2050. Right. So everything can be spec'd 6 months, a year in advance, so everyone involved can learn about the product and get involved in the install.
Yeah, awesome. So let's dive a little bit more specifically into the products, if you don't mind. Could you walk listeners through the suite of products that Intelligent Membranes offers?
So Passive Purple actually comes in two forms. It comes in a liquid or roll applied version for the large areas, and then it's got a brush applied version for all your penetrations and all your gaps. So if you're thinking of Passive Purple, we are the membranes of the product industry, the big rolls. And then if you're looking at the brush version, we are the tapes that would go around windows and any joining areas that you would have. So we replace the tapes and membranes. So we have a liquid version, which is the membrane, and then the brush version, which is your tapes. We do have an internal and external version. The external version is called Passive Purple External. Didn't put too much into the name on that one. It's just so people could have a clear difference. Their difference in colours as well. So, but Our facade one is a Fire Class B. It's waterproof, and it's also UV protected as well. So it actually doesn't need to be covered up. So we actually do a lot of bridges, a little of external work, because we can change the colour as well. So although it's passive purple external and it's a nice violet colour, I do sell a lot in black, stone, beige, any rail colour you can think of. I can get it made for you. So it's on that.
That's cool.
So if you go on the website, you'll see a lot of bridges in China, stone effect bridges and things. They do a lot in that. Tunnels, because it's an anti-carbonisation product as well. So it protects the steel in the concrete if you apply it to concrete. But it can go on timber frame and all that, because anyone looking at us would think we've just aimed for the timber frame market, really. But it goes on anything,
right.
The external one does. And that also comes in a liquid version and a brush version. Any of our products has that same effect. It always has a liquid that you can spray, and we always have a brush version as well, which the brush version has small fibres in to cover them large gaps.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah.
That's a quick rundown on and we're Passive House certified on our internal version. Our external version will soon be Passive House certified as well. We're just going through the process of that. In America, ICC, ABAA, the Canada versions as well. We're midway through all of them as well. So within the next 6 months, I'm hoping we'd have all the certifications for everywhere, really. We do have a lot of waterproofing products as well. We have a lot of products we don't sell online, but we do have waterproofing products. We have bathroom waterproofing products. We have a new one called Poseidon that goes in all the shower rooms. So you can just spray all the walls waterproof blue, and that controls all your waterproofing, and then you can tile straight to it. So the multi-story towers going up, really good for that, quick and easy. What have we got? Window protection. That's another big one in the market. That's a big one that we sell in LA as well. So all your large buildings going up with all this expensive glass, the contractor will install the glass, check it, and then spray it on, and then they can leave our protection on for 18 months externally and 2 years internally. And that just protects it from angle grinders, dust, general jobs, waste that could damage the glass
and
itself.
then you just peel it off, essentially. Yeah.
Then you just peel it off and then recycle it afterwards. Because it's made from recycled plastic, and then you can recycle it again afterwards. So no waste. We do a biodegradable version as well. Only for internal use only, because it's a natural latex. Only lasts for 4 months, because in its nature it's biodegradable. But that goes on bathtubs, shower trays, kitchen worktops, anything like that, granite worktops. You put it on and protect it. So that's nice. That's good. You throw it straight into normal waste, and it'll biodegrade down. So we're not putting plastic into landfill, which is good. If we do need to be a bit hardcore, we do have our charity range of protection, which is called our Fuck Off Cancer version. So it was originally our Intelligent Protect, and it was just a yellow version that we done for a building site. And when I used to do the demos, we used to call it our Fuck Off Protection. So if you see it on a product, fuck off, leave it alone, don't damage it.
With a PH, no less.
With a PH, I was just coming to that.
Sorry.
Yeah, with a PH. And then we realised it had such a shock factor to it that we decided to turn the whole thing to charity. That's brilliant. So any money we make from the Fuck Off Cancer, 100% goes to the Pink Ribbon Foundation. It's probably one of my favourite products, because it's bright pink now as well.
That's perfect.
So, but that goes on bathtubs, shower trays, and that can be left for 2 years. And that really is a really good visual to stay away from expensive items. We do have asbestos ranges as well, encapsulation. We have asbestos protection as well. So a lot of these buildings, they're covered in asbestos. We have the natural latex, so we can spray up the floors, the walls, and you take the asbestos down, and all the fibers will hit the natural latex and bind onto it.
Oh, interesting.
Instead of putting plastic, and then you can wrap it all the asbestos all in the biodegradable natural latex, and then put that, when that goes to landfill, obviously we're reducing our plastic waste as well that's going there, because it will just biodegrade away. So yeah, that's a big one in France. Got the goat coming out. We've got the goat coming out.
The goat?
The goat, because I think back in the day, a lot of people used to know me as the goat, because my office in the summer, I've got my 10 goats.
That's right.
That always
yeah
jump into view. But the goat, that's a waterproofing. So it's a reactive polymer, and it's waterproof within 12 seconds of us laying it onto the floor, and then you can walk on it within 2 hours. So 0 degrees or higher. If you're doing these multi-stories where there's a lot of rain, put the concrete base in, put the goat down, and you know you're going home. And if it rains, you're watertight. You're protected. That multi-story building.
It sounds like you've been having a lot of fun with your chemist.
Yeah, but yeah, you do get some strange look when you're asking him to make pink products, or pink, or orange, or yellow. But yeah, I mean, we're constantly making new products. We're constantly changing products. We've got some changes coming up to our passive purple. I won't say what it is just yet. But yeah, we're constantly changing things and adding new things to the mix. So it's going to be a very exciting year ahead. And yeah, watch this space.
Yeah,
really.
right.
It's always you put on the spot and list your products out. I feel like I need to get my website.
No, that was awesome. I mean, seriously, the breadth of application that for your products is really impressive, and it's like the asbestos, this notion of being able to kind of capture the asbestos and wrap it into this biodegradable substance it's quite cool. And that's not even touching all of the applications to the passive house practice that Passive Purple brings. So it's good. It's cool stuff. So how about like a cool project? Speaking of like a passive house, I mean, you alluded to the potential towers project, but what's a cool project or partnership that you want to share?
I think we're doing a really good one in Oxford. It's called Rubin's College. They have a lot of underground storage facilities. It's where they're keeping like the Magna Carta and things, their artifacts. And we used Passive Purple, but the airtight white edition, because I named one after me, thinking that was clever at the time. I don't know why. But yeah, that's all airtight white, and it just looks so clean and crisp, and it's just. It's on the website, but when you look at the vast size when you go in and around Cambridge, it's all really built up, but then there's all these underground like basements everywhere that are just we have thousands and thousands of square meters, and then we got to protect it all with airtight white and make sure the airtightness is 100% on that. I think that was a pretty good one to be involved in. That was with a UK construction company called Morgan Sindall.
That's pretty good. So protecting the Magna Carta, that's one of your projects.
I like the retrofit as well. I like the retrofit side of things. I like being able to go into an old building and I'm saying, how on earth are we going to do this?
Right.
And then to say, right, we've got to do this here. It's not always a case of just spraying Passive Purple. Sometimes you have to do different things to substrates as well. So sometimes you have to put primers on to consolidate the old lime walls or old plaster walls to make them harder as well. And just detailing around like joist ends and things like that. Sometimes we can only put the airtightness on the outside of the building, but then we've got to try and get it back in on the inside to do the underside of the roof, and just that's the sort of stuff I like. So I kind of like the one-offs more than the bigger ones, if I'm honest, because they're already detailed for you, really.
Solving those connections,
I like the problem solving areas. The retrofit, definitely. The Rubin's College for what it looks paper.
Well, we'll include a link to your website in general, but also specifically the Rubens College pages that you just mentioned, so that people can see them themselves. So, what about what's coming? Like, what's on the horizon for you all?
We've got our own range of fleece tapes, fleece membranes coming out as well. They get released next week, so we can give the fleece membrane to the window installers. They can make sure the window's airtight and everything's good, but then we can come in and paint passive purple over the top. And belt and braces, we're just checking the airtightness on it. So we've got all of them come in different sizes. We actually do a lot of ventilation. We've got a ventilation company holding training facility here in Cambridge now as well. So Intelligent Membranes will be supplying all of their ventilation systems as well. Just adding another product.
Like HRV, ERV?
Yeah, that's exactly that. So we've got a whole range of them, from small flats to large commercial buildings that we can
that
do.
Makes so much sense to couple and products that specialize in airtightness with products that specialize in ventilation, because they go so hand in hand. That's smart. Yeah,
and then our approved installers will be installing these systems as well, and that means we can control the airtightness. There's no making big holes after we've been in and they're not sealed properly. So it does make sense. I own a window company as well, so we do a lot of windows and passive house windows. My timber frame company, how I got in, I still own that company. We do quite a few cool projects around the UK. We work for a company called Forest Holidays, and we do all their luxury cabins in all the different forests. So we've got some good Scottish projects coming up. We've just done some in Wales and things. And they've just agreed, which is, even if I sign off and don't need more projects, they've just agreed to let me build a passive house version of their cabin as well.
Oh, cool.
And so I'm going to site. I say we're going to site at the end of February with their cabin, but I've done it to a passive house standard. It won't be certified, but I've managed to get rid of the double glazing, triple glazing in, ventilation, insulation values well below passive house standard, just to show them how much money we can save and how much nicer it will feel inside them units with the ventilation system in.
Yeah. So clearly you're a serial entrepreneur, and which is really cool to hear about. Like you're touching all these different elements or pieces of the problem that we're all trying to solve around creating high performance buildings. And I don't know how you have enough energy for all of it. It's pretty amazing.
I need to make one thing clear. I have a team around me. I play the hot potato game, so I get it, do the nice stuff, and then throw it on to someone.
It's awesome. It'd be really fun. It'd be really fun to both get that pub featured on the accelerator platform, as well as this solution that you're coming up with for the passive house version of those little cabins.
We're just going in for planning as well. So we've got 2,000 square meter training facility for passive house, just going for planning on site here as well. And then 3 brand new buildings, which are all going to be built with different forms of construction. So we're going to put loads of people to the test to see how a blockwork wall timber passive house building can do with a timber frame building. And then the third one will be like a recycled building. See if we can just the cheapest, not the nastiest, but anything we can find to build that house that's how we're going to build it. That's going to be a lot of fun, and we've got lots of companies getting involved in that one as well. Even down to the windows. The windows won't be the same on each plant, but be made by someone else. So I'll have my competitors come down and put their windows in, because you've always got to show people different ways of building different products as well. Even with the tapes and membranes, I'll make sure liquid applied membranes isn't on all 3. It'll only be on one. So you can see perform.
Awesome. That's very exciting. Thank you for doing all this work. It's really, really important.
It's actually fun.
Yeah, no, I can see. I can tell. Yeah.
I mean, in the passive house Accelerator has been a big push for me on that as well. So I've met loads of great people on that, and they've helped my journey. They won't know they've helped my journey, but I'm in contact with a lot of them. Mark,
Yeah, Mark Willie.
he's
Mark Willie, yes.
mate, that man. Good guy to know in the industry.
Yeah.
I'll recommend anyone in Passive House, because he's an open and honest. If you speak to him, he's open and honest and talks to everyone and gets everyone. He's a good person to get everyone geared up about Passive House. So
this has been really tremendous. Thanks for sitting down with me. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we close up?
Oh, just watch this space. There's going to be a lot of purple buildings coming up in America and Canada over the next 6 months. So yeah, let's see if we can all meet up, and our door is always open for anyone that wants to learn about intelligent membranes or just Passive House in general. All of our teams clued up on it. So yeah, just reach out to us and we're here to help.
And we'll include information for contacting you all. Well, Adam, thanks so much and have a great one.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
And that was Adam White, I think coming to us from Cambridge. He travels around a fair bit because he is quite the global player now. As he mentioned, all those countries that intelligent membranes is being supplied through various channels, including, as you pointed out, Source 2050, which is, I think they were one of the founding products on the 2050 site.
Yeah, that's right.
And such an extensive range of products. I think you summed it up nicely. He obviously is a serial entrepreneur who's got a lot going on. And we were mostly talking about the intelligent membrane side of things. But even within that, it's not just weather protection on the outside, airtightness, vapor control on the inside. Really interesting about things like asbestos encapsulation and innovative waterproofing solutions that, rapid drying times for building. And I guess that Adam has that experience of what it's like on a building site, and he's enjoyed solving some of those problems and thinking about, what would make life easier for builders, but also to produce a better outcome. And has come up with all these different ideas to solve those problems. Yeah,
and some cool biodegradable solutions too.
Yeah, really thinking about the overall impact of the products and materials, which is pretty cool. I get the sense that, even looking at their website, they definitely talk about that, but they don't go overboard on it. It's just kind of, this is what we're doing and this is why.
And how about the Rubens College, the work they're doing on the underground facilities and the Magna Carta?
Yeah,
it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, we're just protecting one of Britain's most important documents. No big deal.
We even learn about the Magna Carta here in the United States.
Yeah. And I've jumped onto the Intelligent Membranes website and checking out the Passive House bar, which is a very impressive stone-looking building with a bit of a modern touch. So definitely check that out. Intelligentmembranes.com. Products aren't available where I am yet here in New Zealand, but they are available in lots and lots of other places, as Adam pointed out. But there's also some other great images and resources on the website there. Another thing that stood out for me was the education side of things, and this comes up very often with the high performance products that we talk about on the show, or even products and services, where it's not simply a matter of just selling something that builders know that they need, or building owners know that they need, because quite often they don't know that they need it. So there has this big education element to getting these systems out there, and that's a big commitment that Adam and his team are making to providing that education, but also providing an amazing facility by the sound of it, of doing a wraparound service of all things Passive House and teaching people how that works and how all the bits go together.
It's reminiscent back to, I think I've referred to this before, Bronwyn Barry's pathway to Passive House kind of advocacy and education was when she was selling high performance windows.
Yeah.
Because in order to explain why high performance windows are so important, you need to dive into the whole system of a high performance building, which is a system, of all sorts of interlocking parts. And so it becomes a whole project of education, which is, I think, one of the cool things about getting to partner with companies like this. There's a real alignment with what the Passive House Accelerator wants to achieve and what Intelligent Membranes wants to do. So we're excited.
And one other point from me is around retrofits. Adam's obviously very interested in. He spoke a couple of times about his interest in that area. I think he definitely likes a bit of a challenge, and existing buildings are a challenge. But I think that's where things like liquid applied membranes and either painting on or spraying on, they are so useful in that environment, because if you're trying to retrofit airtightness to an existing building, it's complicated. It's really hard if you're having to get in and around the structure instead of sequencing it as you would if you were doing it from new. And then you quite have to use beams as part of the airtightness layer, and then make sure each side of that beam is sealed, and it's just so hard to do that with a fabric or certainly like a paper based. You end up doing some crazy origami and not even then super confident that it's going to do the job. So being able to paint something on or roll something on is definitely a huge advantage. Yeah.
All those weird geometries and kind of uncertain surfaces simplify so much.
Yeah, I think it's a game changer for doing retrofitting airtightness into old buildings. And taking the Passive House bar as an example, I mean, the UK is a great place to test that, not just because they have a variety of different building types, so timber frame and concrete block, brick, masonry, but also some of the age. They've got hundreds of years old buildings, and they can be the most challenging to try and get up to any level of airtightness. So if they can do it there, then I would like to think that we can apply airtightness anywhere.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Awesome stuff. So that's Intelligent Membranes. Great to have them on board as part of Source 2050, as we mentioned, but also as supporters of Passive House Accelerator.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you very much. And thank you for this episode, Zach. We'll be back with a regular episode soon.